Hello, today we're going to look at function notation, and we'll start by introducing what is probably the most common function, which is just f. F is just a way of mapping inputs to outputs. When you get an input that is put in to f, it maps it, it directs it to an output. So if you put in A, f tells you to go to 1. If you put in B, F tells you your output is 2. Put in C, you get 3. It's just a rule for telling you that when you put in this, then you get this. And that's it. It's just a way of saying of telling you put in this, you get this. The most common thing you will see is probably F. You could also see G. You could also see H. Those are all very common function names. This is the name of the function. Function f, function g, function h. You can have pretty much any letter being the name of a function. So if you see something like that, don't freak out. The way you can usually identify what a function is you will see it written like this. Okay, this is not f times x. What this is, it's read f of x. And it's basically telling me that when I put in my input, in this case it is x, that the rule would be, let's plug in 2x plus 1 for our rule here. Okay, so the rule of f is that if I put in something, if I put in an input, my input is x here, input is x over here too. If I put in something for x, I multiply it by 2 and I add 1. That's it. That's what f is telling us here. It's a very straightforward function. So I can test this out. Let's do an example. F of 3 is equal to 2. I have an x here, so that means I need to replace it with my input, plus 1. And this is just read f of 3. So f of 3 is equal to 2 times 3 plus 1. Simplify that. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1, 7. So to sum it all up, we could say f of 3 equals 7. That's it. Quite often, you will see something other than x as well, and that doesn't mean that's like the end of the world or something like that. You might see something like f of t. T is nice because that is time, and you will see that in physics. Speaking of physics, you could also see something like v of t. This is still a function. V, you might be talking about velocity. T, you could be talking about, again, time. So velocity over time. When you plug in a certain time, what is your given velocity in a certain direction there? Okay, that's it. There is no multiplication going on there. But let me show you what function notation is not. I'll want to highlight this because I see mistakes like this all the time. If I have f of x equals 2x plus 1, and I want to plug in for f of 3, sometimes what I see is people think, oh, I've got a number right here, I've got f, I'm going to start multiplying. This is not multiplication, okay? This is just function notation, not multiplication. Don't put that. Don't do, well, okay, if I saw this, again, this is what not to do. This is a counterexample. Don't be like, let's see, f is 2x plus 1 and times 3, so I'm going to sort that all out and distribute and get 6x plus 3. No, no, don't do that. Don't do that. This is wrong. This is wrong. Don't do this. Don't do this. Hit it again. Not multiplication. All it is telling you that my rule for f is to take my input times 2 plus 1, add 1 to it, and I get my result. It does not have anything to do with multiplication on this end. We have a little bit here, but that's because that's within the rule of what the function is. But just know when you look at this that you are not multiplying there. And quite often you will see this to be super certain. Um, you really don't see anything like this unless it's a function. Okay? You will not see f of x. That would be really weird to use that in any sort of context outside of a function. Okay? So keep that in mind, and we will be talking more about this tomorrow. Bring your questions and have a great day.